Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Carla and Crappy Show. This is the point of the season where we don't have numbers for the weeks. We have things for the weeks, and this is one of the biggest things that we do all year. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, college football freaks of all ages, it is time for Bowlapalooza. Thank you. Bowlapalooza is and Carla, you're in here someplace, right?
I am. I'm here. Hi.
How you doing?
We're doing okay. How are you?
I'm great. I was trying to remember when we started this. It's been a fairly long running feature, but I don't think like from the beginning.
No, this isn't the 10th Bowlapalooza, but it might be the 7th.
Okay.
So we've had a good run of these things.
We decided at some point that the minor bowl games, not the New Year's Day ones, not the back then it was the BCS and then it was the playoff, and those games obviously get all the attention, but man, if you're only paying attention to those, you are missing out on a lot of the fun of the season. As AJ would certainly point out, look, if you're looking for the stupid, that you might find them in some of these bowl games, because there's nothing to lose. Coaches just sort of let it all hang out and everyone goes nuts. So this is AJ, this is like a 2.5 week after dark just marathon for you.
Yes, I wish there were more G5 P5 matchups. There aren't, for very particular upset reasons, right? These games are mostly for people to go outside and get fresh air and exercise. A lot of teams get very excited about the bowls, not so much the bowl itself, but the fact that they get extra practice time. This is usually extra install time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is really great. And I'm glad this year, there's a lot of like, hey, the bowls tried real hard to make matchups that made sense. And they tried, a lot of the bowls actually made good matchups. So I'm not mad about it.
No, that's fine. It's unusual, perhaps. But this is going to be a cool thing. We're going to switch to you here, so you can see. What we tried to do is invite, since I had such a great time with so many guest hosts while Carla was on maternity leave, we invited everyone to come back. Obviously, not everyone could. As you see some faces, you'll see faces here that you recognize. Everybody wave. Say hi. Hello. Jake, right underneath me. This grid may not be the same on the tape. We tried like twice to get Jake on, and he had conflicts and couldn't make it. He is a Bowlapalooza veteran, so it is great to have Jake Rose back with us. Jake, how have you been?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back. It's been a couple of years. As we were talking before the show, the great Panama City show of 5 years ago, of where my Wi-Fi wouldn't work in my hotel. So surprised you had me back after that.
It's nice
here we are.
It's nice that you get like to sit indoors this time. So that's a step up.
That was might be the top Bowlapalooza we've ever done. That show was pretty epic.
Good time.
We also have Gabby Biltz, and I'm pointing, but I don't know how this is going to look on the thing. But anyway, Gabby is our Notre Dame fan, Notre Dame graduate, chose to stay in the greater South Bend metropolitan area post-graduation. Jake, I meant to ask you this question. Gabby, I'm going to ask you a question, and even though the answer is obvious, what bowl game are you looking forward to watching the most besides the one that you picked to talk about today?
Of course, the Fiesta Bowl, where Notre Dame plays Oklahoma State. So I wasn't allowed to pick a big bowl game, but if I could, that's the one I would pick.
Okay. Have you had a good kind of, you've been involved in an interesting coaching change. Your team has, you said you had some rather pointed suggestion about what should happen if LSU fans or Notre Dame fans got the better end of this deal. What did you tell us right before we started taping?
I said they can have him. They can take Brian Kelly. Marcus Freeman seems like he's going to be really great for the organization. The guys seem fired up for the bowl game. The students seem happy with the decision. So it seems to be really positive feedback all around on campus and with the alumni. So.
Okay. Ohio State Buckeye, Marcus Freeman. I should point out.
Yes, yeah. He didn't make the same mistake twice. He's going to Notre Dame this time.
Every single time that comes up, I'm going to mention that. Just like this.
Can I pull back the curtain ever so slightly on the coaching carousel?
Sure.
I need you all to know that Crappy and Carla and I have had a absurd text message thread over the last week and a half.
It has been insane, actually.
We're just constant oh, hey, this coach is going here and this coach is going here. This is one of the silliest coaching carousels I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare to see this many blue blood programs change over. So Oklahoma changed over, LSU changed over, and that was prior to USC. Well, obviously USC hiring Lincoln Riley, then Notre Dame has to change over, and this whole carousel leading up to Oregon hiring Dan Lanning yesterday. So everything, anything and anything.
Well, and the ripple effects, coordinators going, I mean, Dabo's got to be looking around his offices at Clemson and going, where the hell did everybody go? What happened?
That was the Will Smith meme. He's at the end of Fresh Prince meme, just the heck, where'd everybody go? He lost his AD, his OC, his DC. He lost his ACDC. He lost all of it. And there's can Dabo and his boys go down to the swamp and get some coordinators again? Sure, probably.
Probably they'll be fine. Jake, the question that I did not ask you when I was introducing you, what bowl game are you looking forward to the most besides the one that you're talking about tonight?
I know we're going to get into it a little bit later, but I'm actually really pumped for the Arkansas-Penn State matchup in the Outback Bowl. It seems like one of those games that, it's college, you're playing NCAA football 10 or 08, depending on when you went. And you're like, you know what, I'm just going to play a random game. I'm going to play Penn State, and my buddy's going to be Arkansas. Let's just play that game.
Okay. Just as a caution, I mean, obviously you're aware of Carla's allegiances. Kelly and Aidan over here next to you are both also pretty serious Penn State fans. So just so you know, you know. Hey, I just
put on a helmet.
I just introduced Kelly and Aidan. Hi guys, how you doing?
We're good.
It looks like you've made it home.
We have made it home. We're no longer in the back of the car.
Okay, that's good. Aidan is a longtime fan of the show, as is Kelly. But Aidan made his first appearance on the show earlier this year, when Kelly ably filled in for Carla for Ohio State Penn State week.
You had mentioned before, but this is your first appearance. Let him talk.
Yes.
So when Kelly asked if Aidan should join us for Bowlapalooza, and introduce a game and do all the picks with everybody, I'm like, Aidan is the only person who's been on the show all season who is undefeated. He's undefeated. He has a perfect record picking games. Sample size is perhaps a little bit smaller than some of the others, but I can't. I'm going to say no. I mean, come on. So, Aidan, how have you been since you were on the show last time?
Good.
Good. Okay, Kelly, how about you?
Just busy.
Busy. Yeah. No, that goes. What bowl games are you looking forward to besides the one that you're talking about?
Okay, Outback. You can pick that one, because you're not talking about it.
Outback.
Okay.
I am looking forward to watching Pitt face a Big Ten East school.
I'm kind of looking forward to that too, but that's something we can talk about offline, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, guys, it's great to have you guys back. Then of course we have the Carla and Crappy show's most valuable player, the Carla and Crappy show's Ken Jennings of guest hosts. AJ,
interim co-host.
Interim
co-host.
all that stuff. AJ, what game are you looking forward to the most besides the one that you're going to talk about?
I have to stay true to my heart, true to my soul, really. And I'm going to go with the PUBG Mobile New Mexico Bowl.
Okay.
Featuring UTEP and Fresno State, entirely because UTEP is bowl bound, baby.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
They did it. Go Miners.
Carla, same question for you before we jump into our games. What are you looking forward to?
This is a little bit random for me. Alamo Bowl, which again we have the Alamo or the story about the Alamo Dome.
Yes.
Which, so I have an affinity for maybe I guess it's an affinity or a loathing of the venue. But no, Oregon,
feelings.
I have very strong feelings about the Alamo Dome. But Oregon, Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl, I think that game is incredibly intriguing. With who the heck knows what that game's gonna be, right? We got like interim coaches and staffs that have been completely torn apart, and it's just that game's just going to be, it has hot mess written all over it, and it doesn't kick until 9:30 Eastern. So strange things are going to happen. Okay. So
I mean, can we talk about the fact that like the Alamo Bowl was like, we're going to go get Oregon versus Oklahoma. We've got name brand versus name brand, and then all the coaches leave, and then they go, oh, what? Come on, Alamo Bowl also famous for having that was the Oregon TCU game, if I recall. That's the Gary Patterson changes his shirt at halftime and they came back and win. What an incredible game. Crappy, I would also like to give a honorable mention to the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl featuring Western Kentucky and Appalachian State, which features a fun index of 68. So,
okay. Oh, yeah. And I noticed that the games that we all decided on, the fun indexes are not great. Aidan's, I think, was the only game that was getting close to 60, but that's okay. I would be lying if I said I'm not looking forward to the Rose Bowl, especially since Ohio State's an underdog at this point. I can't really argue with that, but yeah, we will see how that goes. Guys, the basic premise of Bowlapalooza, as we kind of hinted before, no New Year's Six games, no playoff semifinals, obviously no championship. Well, that's all stuff that Carla and I will handle the last two shows of the season. So we just asked these guys, pick a game that's interesting or that has a weird sponsor or that has a team you like or a team you hate. And what you will do is you will introduce that game, and then we will all make a quick pick and go through this list. We're doing this in chronological order. So Carla gets to start us off first. I imagine Jake might have a little input on this as well, but we will hear what he has to say. On noon, Friday, December 17th, we're taping this on, is it Monday night? I don't even know. It's Monday night.
It is.
I'm working 6 days a week. I have no idea. Time is just a relative thing right now. So the end of this week, probably a day after the show is posted, the Bahamas Bowl, a favorite of the Carla and Crappy show for many, many years. Middle Tennessee versus Toledo. Toledo is favored by 10. An AJ Fun Index, middle of the road 52. Carla, you get to introduce this one. Go ahead.
So part of the reason I picked the Bahamas Bowl is because, yes, it is not a Bowlapalooza episode unless we talk about the backyard bowl that is the Bahamas Bowl.
I think we have to. I think I think at this point it's pretty much an obligation.
It is very disappointing that this game does not have a sponsor. Because that's usually what makes this game really entertaining is the random sponsor that decides to sponsor the Bahamas Bowl, which is essentially, if you've never watched it, we go over this every year. It essentially looks like it's being played in somebody's backyard. It's a rugby stadium, I think, is where they play this game. So it's not Bowlapalooza unless we talk about this game. But this year I actually have a little bit of a tie to it because it's MTSU. As I'm wearing my MTSU sweatshirt. I don't normally wear colors on this show, but I'm doing that today. Because obviously it's where I work. And MTSU needed a last week win. I mentioned that earlier in the season. It was win and you're in between MTSU and FAU at the end of the season, and Middle won that game. And just a couple days later, punched their ticket and accepted a berth to the Bahamas Bowl. Toledo, on the other hand, they've won 3 straight coming, so they're kind of on a hot streak by Toledo standards. Coming out of the MAC, winners of 3 straight. They're favored by 10 in the game. Statistically, they appear to be the better team. They have more points scored, fewer points allowed, bigger offensive numbers, better defensive numbers, and everything says, okay, Toledo. But there's an X factor here.
But wait,
there's more. There's an X factor here.
Yes.
And I say throw all of that out the window. Because for all intents and purposes, this is a home game for MTSU. Because MTSU actually has a connection to the Bahamas. Our university president is from the Bahamas. He has a huge, huge fan base of Blue Raiders in the Bahamas, because when the Bahamas went through the hurricane a couple of years ago, MTSU, and Jake can attest to this, MTSU put together one heck of a food drive and supply drive, and we all took our stuff to campus, and they actually chartered several planes, and President McPhee actually flew to the Bahamas at least 3 times. It might have been 4. I don't remember. So there's a really tight bond between the people of the Bahamas and Middle Tennessee State University, and they took gear. So this is going to be a home game for MTSU. I say go Blue Raiders. And I'll toss it over to Jake, because as the unofficial voice of the Blue Raiders, or at least the streaming voice of the Blue Raiders,
Yes.
Did you manage to get a ticket to go to the Bahamas?
I did not. I think I got left off the VIP list. I don't know how that happened. Again, I don't know how that happened. I just they keep forgetting about me. But yes, the unofficial streaming voice. I appreciate that. That's I'm gonna put that on my resume. I think that's at least solid. Yeah.
Almost as good as interim co-host. So we got
interim co-host. There you go.
Interim co-host.
That's a Twitter bio. That's perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, Blue Raiders are winning this all the way.
Okay.
I like their defense, actually. Their defense is one of the best in the nation at forcing turnovers. Pretty much all year, they led the nation or were tied for forced turnovers all year. It's a bit of a bend, don't break defense, but they've got some big playmakers, especially in that secondary with Reed Blankenship and Greg Great, who I think at least have a chance to make a roster at the next level. But yeah, anytime you can force turnovers in football, you got a pretty good shot. I don't care about the line. Forget about it. Go Blue.
Okay. Next up, AJ, your pick.
I'm gonna go ahead and just ride with Carl on that. That sold me. I was like, all the stats say otherwise, but listen, when you can make it a home game, you make it a home game, and PR stunts are amazing. Charity work is also great too, but if you can use that to further your brand, you should absolutely do that. MTSU turning this into a home game via charity is just incredible, and really the spirit of college sports. So I'm going to go ahead and say go Blue Raiders.
Gabby, you're next. What do you think about this game?
I'll be honest, didn't know much about this game going in, so Carla also swayed me. I think go Blue Raiders. You know, why not? Also, there's 2 people wearing Blue Raiders gear on this call, so like, I don't want to make anyone. I don't want to make any enemies. You know.
Okay. Aidan, what is your pick for this game?
What do you think the score is going to be? Real quick.
What do I think the score is going to be? That's sort of what I'm asking you.
I was asking
who are we
Carla.
to disagree with Carla and Jake when they're wearing the school colors? You have to go with Carla and Jake. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kelly?
Yeah, I can't disagree with Carla ever.
Yes, you can. This is proving a point that I apparently must do a good job of teaching persuasive writing, because I just convinced all of you to get on our bandwagon. So
Okay.
Oh, she got us again.
Damn it. Yeah, I'm going with middle. I'm swayed by this. Plus, my tendency would be to kind of pick the smaller school on this side. Even Toledo being a max team, OU has played in the Bahamas a couple times, I think. So yeah, Middle Tennessee. Let's do it. Go Raiders. Jake, you are up next at 2:30 p.m. on Monday, December 20th in lovely Conway, South Carolina. The Myrtle Beach Bowl presented by Tax Act. Old Dominion versus Tulsa. Tulsa is favored by 9.5 points, an AJ Fun Index of 52.5 points. Jake, what can you tell us about this game?
Well, I actually had the honor and privilege to be the unofficial streaming voice of this football game with Old Dominion and Middle Tennessee a few weeks ago. And Old Dominion beat Middle at Middle in a game that they had to have to stay alive for bowl eligibility. If Middle had won that game, they would have been bowl eligible. And after that win, they didn't win. And Old Dominion took it to them in the 4th quarter. And this is a team that did not play last year. They opted out of the 2020 season. So they are really young. They have over 60 freshmen. I know that doesn't technically count, or I guess technically they would all be freshmen in terms of technical, but in terms of actually playing, over 60 freshmen on that squad. And they have been on a great run the second half of the year. They started the year 1-6, won their last 5 games, and Ricky Ronnie who's been on James Franklin's staff for pretty much about a decade before he took the job at Old Dominion 2 years ago, has done a great job of really getting that program going. So I'm going with the Monarchs over the Golden Hurricanes of Tulsa.
It sounds like regardless of what happens with this game, we should all be watching Old Dominion in a couple of years because they could be pretty good. Okay. Monarchs is Jake's pick. Gabby, what do you think?
I'll go statistics on this one. If Tulsa's favored, we're gonna go they were also the Golden. I'm not as familiar with college football as other people on this call. So they were the Golden Hurricanes.
The Golden Hurricanes.
That sounds.
Yes.
I like kind of the paradox between being golden but also being kind of like a hurricane. So I'm picking
in a landlocked state.
In a landlocked state. In the Great Plains, I think that they have like the goldish helmets kind of thing. So maybe there's a connection there.
Yes, anytime it's golden, so I'm going with Tulsa.
Okay, we've got one Old Dominion, one Tulsa. AJ, what do you think?
It is the Golden Hurricane, singular. I don't know why.
Just one.
Okay,
just the one. They had
just
one
the
hurricane. They were like they had a hurricane hit Tulsa, and then they just went that's the name.
That
hit real hard, and then they stopped after that. I'm gonna go with Old Dominion just because Tulsa is. I kind of want to ride with Tulsa because they had to beat SMU in Dallas to get bowl eligible. This was also a game, if you didn't see it, where the SMU fans booed Sonny Dykes on the way into the game.
It's right.
Not during the game, on the way into the game, because he announced he was leaving for TCU, literally like next door. They were very upset about this. And so, when they lost, it did not look good. And now Tulsa is bowl eligible. Old Dominion, I'm going to go with Old Dominion here because Tulsa gives up more points per game than they score. That's usually bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that Old Dominion's going to win this. And Ricky, Ronnie, you get over here right now.
Okay. Carla, what do you think?
These teams are can they be any more even statistically? Like, if you look at their numbers, it's crazy. It's just okay, these two teams are mirror images of each other. Old Dominion's the hot hand right now, having to win 5 straight to go bowl eligible. Mm-hmm. Tulsa hung with Cincinnati earlier this season and gave Cincinnati a run for their money. True. And they, as AJ just said, and others have mentioned, they had to beat a good SMU team to become bowl eligible. I flipped a coin and landed on Old Dominion. So Monarchs.
Aidan, what do you think about this one? Monarchs versus a mythical golden hurricane in the middle of the state of Oklahoma.
Monarchs.
There's another Monarchs. Kelly, what do you think?
I am not capable of rooting for Ricky Roddy other than to root him to leave town as a State fan.
Okay.
So go with Tulsa.
Okay. Well, I mean, we are free to pick these games in whatever fashion we think is appropriate, and that is as good as any. Let's see. I got to get back to my script here. I've got too much stuff going on. Hey, the next game is mine. At 8 p.m. on Wednesday, December 22nd in lovely Fort Worth, Texas, as we're talking about the Metroplex, the Lockheed Martin Defense Contractors $1,000 Toilet Armed Forces Bowl, which may or may not be the actual title. My Army, is playing Missouri in this bowl game. Army is favored by 3.5 points, and there's an AJ Fun Index of 58.5. I get to do the intro here. And I will start by congratulating Carla and my father on Navy's win a couple days ago. AJ pointed out in our text thread the exact reason why Army lost on Saturday, and I was thinking the exact same thing. 16 passing attempts. That's like a whole season for a military academy, especially for Army. It granted, it probably also had something to do with Navy's rushing defense, which was spectacular.
You're an Army, not an Air Force. Put it on the ground.
This is what I'm saying. The helicopters are nice, but let's be serious here. And it also did not help that Army didn't complete enough of those passes to get the defense to start paying attention to that stuff and open things up. Will they need to pass the ball against Missouri? Maybe not. Missouri gives up 230-ish rushing yards per game, And if I'm involved with Army's offense at all, the coaching staff, players, anybody, squirting Gatorades in the mouths of the guys when they come off the field, I'm going, oh, that's going to be fun. Army doesn't need to throw the ball here. This is going to be an upset of mythical proportions. Army upsetting the SEC, the entire SEC. I don't care about anything else. Army wins this game. Go Army. Who is up next? AJ, what do you think?
Missouri snuck into bowl eligibility here by beating Florida with the "May the Force be with you" moves.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Army needs a bounce back game, and you're right. You're absolutely right. Missouri has no defense. Army's about to beat an SEC team. They're supposed to be SEC.
Yes.
Go Army.
Yes. Jake, what do you think?
I'm with you guys. I like Army's chances in this. This is actually an Army team that can put up some points. They got in that huge shootout with Wake earlier this year, which was just ridiculous.
Was nuts.
But then they also beat a Western Kentucky team with arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And then they also beat a Liberty team that has been able to put up points the last few years. So not only do I think Army is going to win this game, but you know what? Let's just bring them on into Conference USA. Why not?
Do it. Bring them.
Let's do it.
We're taking everybody right now, so why not?
Yeah, we are.
I'm sorry. Do you really want the troops? Huh?
Gabby, what do you think about this game?
Again, lack of technical knowledge, but
just tell me.
Armed Forces Bowl. Got to go with Army. I got a brother in the military, so respect the troops. Come on now.
Absolutely. Aidan, you've got Army versus Missouri. What do you think?
Army.
Excellent pick, young man. Kelly, what do you think?
Go Army.
Go Army. I like it. Next up is AJ's game. Not in San Francisco, but in Frisco, Texas. 3:30 p.m. Thursday, December 23rd. Frisco Football Classic, North Texas, versus the Miami University. That's in the state of Ohio.
This is the Frisco Bowl, not the Frisco Football Classic. The Frisco Football Classic is a different game. They're different games being played 2 days apart because they had too many bowl eligible teams, not enough bowls. So ESPN went to Disney. They got the magic hat. They shook some fairy dust out, and ta-da, you have a new bowl game.
So
that's how that works. That's how bowl games are made.
So none of this intro makes any sense.
No.
Okay. What the hell game are we watching then? I have no idea.
This is the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
Bowl.
Different from the Frisco Football Classic. The Frisco Football Classic is between North Texas and
Miami of
Ohio.
For the record, I'm picking Miami of Ohio in that game. But
go ahead. That's why we call this Bowlapalooza, because bowls just come out of nowhere.
Go ahead and tell us about this other game that I did not know existed.
Yep. So this is the Frisco Bowl between UTSA, our beloved Meet Me Roadrunners,
yes,
and the San Diego State Aztecs.
Okay.
Who sadly lost the Mountain West title game they absolutely got destroyed by Utah State. You can't point your way to points no matter how hard you try, Brady. So San Diego State, coming off of a fantastic season with, honestly, I think Matt Araiza actually did get at least one Heisman vote. Thank you, Spencer, for voting for Matt Araiza for Heisman. Matt Araiza, Penn State has a really good punter this year as well, right?
Yes.
So they have a very good punter. Matt Araiza was, I think, 5 yards per average higher. He was an absolute demigod of punting, and he should get a top 3 round NFL pick because he is that much of a weapon. Okay. UTSA, other than their one loss to North Texas, played a fantastic bowl or a fantastic championship game. They won the CUSA. Jeff Traylor's got them rolling. This should be an absolutely fantastic game with absolutely no points. This is going to be a low scoring affair. I'm really sorry. This is going against everything that I stand for with the AJ Fun Index. Meep. UTSA wins.
I feel I need to go back and do my normal bookkeeping. This game is on December 21st, 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
Meep is favored by 2.5 points, and the AJ Fun Index is an
Paltry.
excruciating 49.5 points.
Mhm.
AJ, who do you like in the other Frisco game?
In the other Frisco game, go ahead and give me North Texas.
Okay, we got you there.
The green is very mean.
The green is mean. Jake Rose. First, we'll do the Frisco Bowl, and then we'll do the Frisco Classic. Who do you got in the Frisco Bowl?
The Frisco Bowl, that's the North Texas, Miami of Ohio one, right?
No, it's the other
that's
one.
the Classic.
Sure, another way
That's the
around.
Classic.
Okay, yeah. Why would I know this? I don't know. UTSA has been really good all year long. Jeff
Yes.
Traylor's done a great job with that, building that program up from basically nothing.
Mhm.
So Meep indeed. And then in the other Frisco Bowl, I don't want to say the real Frisco Bowl. I don't want to pick sides in this Frisco debate here. But Miami of Ohio has a top 20 passing attack and a pretty good defense. So go Red Hawks.
And even though they lost to my Bobcats in our rivalry game, that is a solid pick. Carla, Bowl first, then Classic.
Okay, so Bowl.
Bowl is the game AJ wanted to talk about.
The game AJ actually wanted to talk about. See, y'all, I have a 3-month-old now. Like my brain is mush. Okay.
Mom brain. Got mom brain already.
Because anyhow, my notes for this game literally say college football, smoothies, pump God, and meep. Does it get any better for this season? I mean, really, right?
That's what I need. That's
like
You know
those
what?
two things.
That's what's up. That's what's happening up here too.
Right?
So.
Yeah. The matchup here is the UTS is the meep offense versus the San Diego State defense. That's really what it's going to boil down to. And I'm a Big Ten fan, so give me the defense all day, every day, and the Fighting Brady hoax. I'm going to say San Diego State wins the game. For the other game, I have no freaking clue. North Texas, sure.
Okay, that sounds good. Aidan, what do you think about? First, we have UTSA versus San Diego State.
Meet.
Meep. Okay. Second, we have North Texas against Miami of Ohio.
Texas.
North Texas. Okay. That's two Texas teams right there. Kelly.
Yeah, I
Bowl,
have.
then Classic.
Yeah, I have to go by the transitive property football, college football. Penn State lost to Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois lost to UTSA.
They did.
Meep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
North Texas and Miami of Ohio.
Let's go Maction.
Let's go Maction. I don't know if there's a transitive properties thing here, but since you pointed out that OU is playing in Happy Valley next September,
Yes.
how does it inform you about that game that OU beat Miami this fall?
Oh no. The last time I let you come to Beaver Stadium to see the Bobcats in Penn State, that was Bill O'Brien and
I did not come to that. I've seen two Ohio State games. I have not seen OU there.
no, Kelly. You and Kelly were both there, and Ohio won.
Ohio did win, but we didn't come to that game.
I was there with Kelly.
No.
You did it?
No.
Okay,
No.
I remember
Those were
very
both Ohio State games.
You just manifested Mandela affected Ohio and Ohio Penn State game.
You just did. No, the first one was the weird game that started like 5, but it was Ohio State, Penn State both times.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Kelly came for that one.
Yeah.
Real quick, I didn't realize that Miami of Ohio's quarterback is Brett Gabbert, younger brother of Blaine Gabbert.
That is correct. That is correct.
Blaine Gabbert was born in 1989. Brett Gabbert was born in 2000.
Oh,
That is
Good for-
quite. That
good
is
for the
quite
Gabberts.
That's quite the spread in terms of ages. I was like,
That's-
wait, Brett Gabbert? Is he the younger brother of Blaine? Is he like a nephew, a cousin? What's happening here? No, younger brother.
Okay.
That's
Good
the
for
spread
Mr.
for
and
me
Mrs.
and my
Gabbert.
youngest brother.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Gabby, you have 2 games to pick here. The game that AJ wanted to pick was the bowl. So UTSA versus San Diego State.
Yes. Remind me, which was the one with the good punter?
San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Coached
We're
by
going with
former
San-
Michigan. Coached by former Michigan head coach Brady Hoke.
I
We're
think you
gonna
mean
go
Ball
with
State
the
head coach
San-
Brady Hoke.
Yeah. Yes.
We're going with San Diego State because I like a good kicker, a good punter. I think they can be a big asset to the team. And then I'll go
What if
Miami. I'll go Miami University of Ohio for the other one, simply because I'm an Ohioan and the word Ohio is in the name. So
That's fine. Okay.
Does it help you to know that the punter is also the kicker? Matt Araiza is the field goal kicker for San Diego State as well. Does this help?
I'm still going San Diego State. I
Okay,
feel
good to know. Good to know.
Sometimes
Good to know.
are they different? Are they different people sometimes in the NFL? Or are they the same person always?
Almost always different.
Always.
They're almost always different.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
but they're the
almost
same. Oh, then I'm definitely going for San Diego. If this is an anomaly, we have to go with.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go as much as I agree that with Coach what's his name, that the punt is the most important play in football. I'm gonna go with Meat in that first game. I have a difficult time picking Miami under any circumstances for any reason, but I really do think they're going to win this game. So I'm gonna go with. I have a really gross old nickname for them that I'm not going to bring up now. But yeah, Miami is going to win that one. Gabby, you are up next at 5:45 p.m. Wednesday, December 29th in lovely Orlando, Florida. It's the Cheez-It Bowl.
Yes.
Everyone's favorite team, Clemson versus Iowa State. Iowa State is favored by 1.5. The AJ Fun Index is also rough, 45.5 points. The Schadenfreude Index for this game, as we mentioned, Dabo wondering what happened to his program. The Schadenfreude Index of this game is off the charts. And Gabby expressed as well when she said what game she was picking and why. She says, "I love Cheez-Its and I hate Clemson."
Yeah.
So I can't argue with either one of those. So Gabby, what can you tell us about this game?
Okay, so not a lot on the technical side, but that's true. I'm new to the college football front, so I still very much follow Notre Dame college football, and I'm still kind of branching out to other teams. So bear with me. So I originally picked this game truly because it was called the Cheez-It Bowl, and I love Cheez-Its, and I'm not a big Clemson fan, although Mike does know I do prefer like Stouffer's Whales as a superior Cheez-It snack. So, if they ever name it the Stouffer's Whale Bowl, I'll be very into that.
You just got it. We got to work on them to get a sponsorship one, period.
I would love the Stouffer's Whales to sponsor a bowl game sometime. But anyways, I did a little bit of recon work and realized that the Cheez-It Bowl is actually what it was formerly called the Camping World Bowl, which Notre Dame played Iowa State in 2019. Everybody else is nodding because they know this. I did not know this until right before I got.
That's right. Yes. Okay.
So yes, another kind of connection then. We beat Iowa State in that bowl. So I would like to, see Iowa State get some redemption. I'm always team beat Clemson. So Iowa State for this one solely because I would like to see Clemson lose in something called the Cheez-It Bowl. That just seems fun to me.
Okay. That is as good a reason as anything. Aidan has disappeared. Aidan is lying to Aidan's we're keeping Aidan past his bedtime. Aidan, do you have thoughts about Clemson versus Iowa State?
Gonna win.
Clemson's gonna win? Okay.
I don't know who you are anymore.
Kelly, what do you think?
I'm team anti-Clemson all the time.
Okay.
My high school bull league got a full ride to play football at Clemson, and here I am years later still bitter about it.
Okay.
And no.
Excellent. Okay. Jake, what do you think?
So I based my decision on
the Cyclones.
Which coach I thought had the better flavor of Cheez-It that they like the most. And the only conclusion that I can come up with is that Dabo Sweeney only eats reduced fat Cheez-Its. So I have to go Iowa State. That's all I got. Like, he doesn't do the duos. He doesn't do the grooves. He doesn't do extra cheddar. He doesn't even do basic cheddar or the extra toasty. He does reduce fat. Therefore,
the extra toasty are incredible, by the way.
My jam. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. AJ, what do you think?
Why would you eat reduced fat Cheez-Its?
I don't even know why they exist. Why do they even exist?
Oh no, because if you have regular Cheez-Its, you're not in the eyes of the Lord. Right. So I'm going to go with by the way, Gabby, thank you for dropping the history of this bowl game, because the original Cheez-It Bowl is the previous Guaranteed Rate Bowl, which is actually the night before.
Right. And
is one of the worst bowl games I've ever seen. By the way, we'll get to the actual worst bowl games I've ever seen when we start talking about Aidan's game. I'm going to go ahead and pick Iowa State just because Clemson's falling apart. They're a more talented team, but there's no coaches. So good luck, y'all.
I don't know how it's going to work. Carla?
Yeah, the funny thing, I'm actually disappointed because normally when somebody picks the Cheez-It Bowl, I normally have Cheez-Its, and I normally during this segment am eating Cheez-Its. I have no Cheez-Its. I looked, I couldn't even find anything that resembled Cheez-Its, so I am thus not eating Cheez-Its.
Just
and I'm very sad about this.
Orange pieces of paper would probably fool everybody.
No,
okay,
not nearly as tasty. Yeah,
no, but
so the intriguing thing here is that the more prolific offense. Not Clemson. It's Iowa State.
Yeah.
Iowa State actually has the better offensive numbers here. And also unrelated to anything whatsoever, Brock Purdy, still the quarterback at Iowa State. Doesn't it feel like he's got to be on like his 11th or 12th season?
Who's been at the program longer, Brock Purdy or Kenny Pickett? I don't know.
Right? Brock
okay.
Purdy, still the quarterback at Iowa State. Clemson turned it on late in the season, but they don't have any coaches left. Cyclones have lost 3 of 5. I don't think it matters. Iowa State.
Okay. I don't know how Dabo's going to do that. I notice we have been joined by the last person that we there he is that we invited. He was tied up with some stuff earlier today. This is my buddy Nubyjas Wilborn, who abandoned Pittsburgh, the Post-Gazette, and me. As in the middle of the football season, he is now covering Auburn for it's al.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, al.com. Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. Are you having fun down there so far?
Yeah, it's a little different, man. They during the season, you go to the grocery store on game Saturday, and they play the volume of the game. They actually play the radio broadcast of the Auburn football games at the grocery store here. It's a pretty serious deal, man.
Nice. Nubyjas, I want to introduce you to your former biggest fan, and that's Kelly up here, over here.
Hey.
Kelly's a really serious Penn State fan. I know she's talked to you on Twitter a little bit about stuff that you have written. She was really sad when you left, by the way.
It was a hard decision, Kelly. I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed covering Penn State, but I had an opportunity to get back south, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nubyjas, I have completely forgotten what game.
So what games have you guys already done? Let me catch up on the picks.
Okay, we can do this. Yes. We'll go through this really quick. Bahamas Bowl, Middle Tennessee versus Toledo.
I'll take Middle Tennessee because I see people with the Middle Tennessee stuff on. I want to show them some love. So
okay, that makes perfect sense to me.
There's no logic to it other than Middle Tennessee State. Yeah, let's go.
Myrtle Beach Bowl, Old Dominion versus Tulsa.
Old Dominion versus Tulsa. I actually like Tulsa's offense. I'm going to take Tulsa.
Okay. Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Army versus Mizzou.
I'm going to take Army. They just had that win over Navy, broke that little streak there. Quite honestly, Mizzou, I don't think they're very good. So I'm going to go Army.
Mizzou is not very good. Unfortunately, Army lost to Navy, which I'm disappointed. Yeah. And then we had the 2 Frisco games. We have the Frisco Bowl, which was UTSA and AJ, help me. Who was it?
San Diego State.
San Diego, thank you. UTSA and San Diego State.
I'm going to take San Diego State.
Okay. Then we also accidentally had the Frisco Football Classic, which is North Texas versus Miami.
We're going NoCal twice. I'm going to take Miami. I figure those guys are going to try to impress the new head coach. So
okay, this is Miami of Ohio, not Miami.
Okay.
We'll get to the Hurricanes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You got to make that clear now. Okay.
Miami of
Ohio. Oh,
yes. That's usually what I think.
It was all of us.
I mean, I'm going to take the other team on that, but sorry. I thought you meant you. Okay, my bad.
Okay. And then the game that we were talking about as you arrived, the Cheez-It Bowl, Clemson versus Iowa State.
I got Clemson for no other reason. I think they're just a better collection of talent. They have finished the season strong. Mm-hmm. Yes, they lost Brent Venables and a bunch of coaches off their staff.
They don't have any coaches.
Well, they still got Dabo.
Dabo can't do it he can't do everything.
Well, he's got assistants. They'll come up, they'll figure it out, they'll get it going, and Clemson will win that ball game.
Okay.
I'm just really happy that the strength coach doesn't have to hold Brent Venables back anymore. Or no, he's no. I think he's going. I think
He's probably going with him, yeah.
and going to
Package
Oklahoma
deal.
to hold him back. But like, he's just like, man, I get like a bowl game. I just get to take the night off. You know, I don't have to like follow him around on the sidelines and try to catch this rabid dog from running out to the 30.
Right.
Like,
has anyone not picked this game? I've completely lost track of what I'm doing. By the way, did we all pick this one?
I think we did.
Okay, excellent. And Nubyjas, you got here just in time because we have arrived at your bowl game at 11:30 a.m. on Thursday, December 30th in lovely Charlotte, North Carolina. The Duke's Mayo Bowl, which is just all-time classic. I don't what was this, like a Meineke Car Care Bowl? Is that what
This is the Belk Bowl at one point.
was it? Okay.
This is the
Belk,
Belk
the
Bowl.
retail store. It's
Yeah.
retail
Yeah.
store, yeah.
Okay. North Carolina versus South Carolina. North Carolina is favored by 8.5 points. Nubyjas, I don't think we were doing this when you were on the show earlier in the season. We have come to call the over-under number the AJ Fun Index. AJ urges us to watch games that might be more exciting than the Midwestern football that we enjoy talking about so much on this show. The AJ Fun Index for this game is a respectable 58 points. So Nubyjas, you have arrived just in time. Tell us about this game and who you're going with.
Well, it's going to be interesting, right? Because you got Shane Beamer there in South Carolina. I got to see South Carolina live. Auburn went up there and lost to them at their stadium. And I'll be honest about South Carolina. They're not really a very good football team, but they play hard. They really do play hard. North Carolina is more talented, which is why they're favored about 8.5. But sometimes they don't show up. I would assume that they would be ready to play this game. Mac Brown, you're trying to get recruiting going.
Yeah.
This is also one of those games where Charlotte, because of, still dealing with COVID stuff, you had this game there, which is perfect. They actually have a little built-in rivalry between the schools. I think North Carolina wins the game. I like their offense better. I think they're more dynamic. And I think they cover the old AJ Fun Index there.
Okay.
So I'm saying I take Carolina in the points.
Yeah.
As well as the over in the old Fun Index.
Okay. AJ, this sounds like a perfect toss to you. What do you think?
So I think it's funny that he called it Carolina and was referring to North Carolina, because if you're in South Carolina, you call it Carolina, they're referring to South Carolina. This is one of the most
confusing.
petty and stupid rivalries of the South, because they don't play that often. Once South Carolina left the ACC and went to the SEC, this lovely rivalry became much weirder, and just like, hey, it's a weird out of conference game. But they generally play this game in South Carolina on a fairly regular basis. In fact, I think this is actually the first game of the season next year too.
Fun.
Mac Brown, energy vampire himself. I think he gets a young one here. I do. Have you guys ever seen Mac Brown shake hands after the game? He just grabs the elbow and holds too long. It's very weird.
It's a Bob Dole kind of thing. Actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. He's a long handshaker. I think North Carolina stumbled to finish the year. They got up against Wake. They lost the North Carolina State game on the dumbest way possible, where they just got like, oh hey, we just gave up an onside kick and like 12 points in 2 minutes. I see North Carolina. I agree with Nubyjas. Mac's got to get the recruiting going. He's got a ton of top 5 talent coming in. They've basically raided the entire state of Virginia. I think Mac Brown gets a win and tries to get everybody fired up for next season. It's also a bowl game in Mac Brown. So,
sure. Jake, what do you think?
I kind of forgot that South Carolina was even bowl eligible this year. Well,
to be fair, they beat Auburn, which they shouldn't have. Auburn went up there.
Yeah.
To get a 25-point lead against Texas.
That's the one.
Mississippi State the week before, go up there and don't score a touchdown in the second half. Really played poorly, including a play that probably got Mike Bobo fired, going for it on 4th and 1, which isn't so bad. But you go for a pass with a freshman quarterback. Oh, and by the way, the guy is 6'4", 220, instead of just having them lean over the front and get the 1 yard. Nonetheless, it ends up getting Bobo fired. And of course, Auburn loses that game. So yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Tom Brady's 6'4", 220. He doesn't throw in 4th and 1. So why should that kid?
All I'm saying is that there's a very famous phrase across the South: run the dang ball, Bobo. And he didn't do it. And it got him fired again. Good job, Mike. Great work. By the way, point of correction: North Carolina and South Carolina play in Charlotte to start the 2023 season, not the 2022 season.
Okay,
I was wrong.
Okay. Jake, did you finish?
North Carolina. I like North Carolina when their
Okay.
offense is on, which hit or miss. But
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
something about Mac Brown and bowl games.
That's true. That's true. Carla, you're up.
Mac Brown bowl games, and this was supposed to be Sam Howell's year, wasn't it? Like, at the beginning of the year, like everyone was putting him on the Heisman watch list, and then that just kind of didn't happen. North Carolina's kind of sneakily had a really decent year, all things considered. So, and yeah, I'm not convinced that South Carolina can be consistent in anything. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Mac Brown and the Tar Heels.
Okay. Gabby, what do you think?
So I went to the Notre Dame North Carolina game in the stadium, so I got to watch
Yes.
North Carolina play.
Yes.
They looked decent to me. So I mean, Notre Dame still won, thankfully, but they put up a little bit of a fight there. So I'm gonna go with North Carolina.
Okay. Okay. Kelly, we're going to go to you next. What do you think about this one?
I'm usually team Mac Brown,
Mhm.
so North Carolina. But in trying to help Aidan choose between the Gamecocks and the Tar Heels, I have a question.
Yes.
What's a Tar Heel?
Yeah.
I
Let's
don't
argue.
know. Does anybody know the answer to this question?
1 second. I'll ask Google.
Officially, the mascot for the North Carolina Tar Heels is a ram.
That's yes.
So we'll go with that.
I think that's a colloquial thing that refers to like everyone who lives in North Carolina. But I don't know where that I don't know where that came from.
The
AJ?
equivalent of a, which is nothing.
Yeah.
Also,
AJ, you're good at looking this stuff up midstream. I'm going to ask Aidan what he thinks
Sure
about
is.
this game. And then we'll keep going. Aidan, North Carolina or South Carolina? Or do you need to South?
Oh, by the way, Tar Heel,
yeah.
basically is a nickname for a Carolina citizen.
Okay.
And the tar is like from like turpentine and pitch, and like Carolina was really big on producing turpentine, tar, pitch, and other materials from the pine trees.
Okay.
So you
Awesome.
don't get on your heels.
The
Yeah.
exclamation, awesome.
There we go. Okay. Aidan, you just picked South Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got that. There's an upset pick. Aidan, while I have your attention, you, sir, are up next. Your game is at noon Friday on December 31st on New Year's Eve day, and out in the West Texas town of El Paso. It is the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Washington State versus the Miami Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are favored by 2.5 points. There's an AJ Fund Index just this shy of 60. Aidan, is this going to be a great game or a great game?
Great.
What can you I set you up there perfectly, dude. What can you tell us about how this game is going to go?
I think the score is gonna be 34-24.
Okay. In favor of whom?
Miami, because they gave Penn State a coach.
Okay, they did. I think Penn State got a pretty good defensive coordinator out of that deal. So you're picking Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. Kelly, as long as we got you on camera there, who you got in this one?
I'm gonna go with Wazoo. I don't usually pick Miami to win anything, so we're gonna go Washington State. Just if only to make it more fun in this house, because it means he gets to be wrong.
No. There was some tension because apparently Aidan was happy to remind his mother after Penn State weekend that he was the only one of the three of us that picked all three games correctly that we talked about that weekend. So I see him smirking there. I see that. I see it. Gabby, what do you think about this game?
Well, I went with the Golden Hurricane for the other one, so I feel like
Right.
I have to go with the Miami Hurricanes for this one. Like, have to stick to the brand at this point.
Okay, so there's a linear fashion to
It's
this?
all connected.
Team
Everything that
Hurricane.
I'm doing is
It's
super
all
connected.
connected.
Yes.
Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. AJ, what do you think?
First of all, I do have a question for Aidan. Did he do the homework that I sent over, which was to watch the worst bowl game ever?
I don't know if they looked at that or not.
We didn't. Aidan didn't have time because he had hockey all the way down in Morgantown, West Virginia yesterday, AJ. But we're going to watch it.
Okay, for those of you, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's the 2008 Sun Bowl between Oregon State and Pitt. It features Walt Harris, Pitt.
Offensive genius. Walt Harris.
Offensive genius, Walt Harris. Do not look up the results of the game.
No,
watch
don't.
it.
I don't.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We will
If
watch
you are
it.
if you are not familiar, you should look this game up.
It is the don't watch the whole game. There's a condensed version on YouTube, which is what I sent over. You should watch this game. I want to say the last time I watched the Sun Bowl, I think it was Washington State and Miami.
Okay.
And it was a snow game because it snows in El Paso.
It does.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick Wazoo. They finished the season strong. They made their interim the head coach. Miami finished the season okay. I thought they could have kept Manny Diaz a little bit longer, but instead, by the way, someday we'll tell the story of Mario Cristobal and how he got to Miami and how messed up that search was. But let's just say there's a lot of people with a lot of money in Miami who wanted Mario Cristobal to be their head coach. That's all.
That has a lot to do with it. Yes.
And so, yes, I'm going to go ahead and pick Wazoo.
Okay, Carla, you're up.
Similar logic. We must have had the same notes here. Jake Dickert turned that program around mid-season up at Wazoo and did a magnificent job. We talked about that at the last episode, that they took the interim tag off and made him the head coach. Miami in the other aspect did Miami things in the off season. And so now they're going to be under an interim head coach for this bowl game. Give me old Crimson.
Okay. Nubyjas, you're up. What do you think?
I'm going to give Miami an opportunity. I'm going to believe that, getting Chris Ball, getting Dan Radakovich, who as AD, can nothing else, he can raise some money and stuff. Again, I don't think their team is very good, but I think some of those players are starting to see the writer on the wall and realize they're trying to be good. I think some of those guys are going to be around, enough of them are going to show up to play well, and I think that'll pull Miami over the top.
Okay. Jake, what you got?
I like Wazoo simply for continuity reasons. Just, having that coach take over, as Carla said, in the middle of the season and really kind of turn that program around in Pullman, at least for this season, says a lot. So go Wazoo. Go Cougs.
Okay. I actually struggle with this. I when I watched Miami in the last couple of years, there is talent there. I don't know if the previous coaching staff that's just something that they couldn't kind of harness, or if there's a discipline issue. I don't know what that was. But I've always thought in the back of my mind when I see them, it's like, man, these guys should be better than they are. Washington State obviously is a great team, good team. And that's borne out by how they especially how they finished up the season. I'm gonna take a flyer on Miami here. I think that's gonna be a game that they can probably kind of pull things together and come out with a win in the Sun Bowl. For some reason, I've always been fascinated with the Sun Bowl. By the way, it's on like by itself at some time or another, and it's like mountains and the stadium. Even when I was a little kid, I just like, ooh, cool. And then I watched that game that AJ pointed out to us, and it's like, oh my god!
Used to be sponsored by Brute.
Yes,
just
maybe
smells
that
like your
was
grandpa.
Maybe that was it.
It's the champagne of bowls.
That's right. That's
what I was
right. Yeah.
fascinated about. Kelly, you're up next, and I believe you're the only person on the show tonight who gets to talk about a game that they're actually going to witness. We're talking January 1st, noon Saturday. January 1st, the Outback Bowl, the Penn State Nittany Lions versus the number 21 Arkansas Who Pig Sueys. Penn State is favored by 2 with an AJ Fund Index 46.5 points.
Um,
Kelly, tell us about this game.
So I had some fun looking this up because Penn State has never in the history of these two schools played Arkansas. So we have
Okay.
nothing to look back on. But I do have one note, particularly for Gabby, when it gets to be her turn to pick. Jordan Stout, Penn State's punter, place kicker, and punter and place kicker was the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Year. That you might like to
Combo.
like
It's a combo.
punter, and he does all the kicking for Penn State.
I mean, to be fair though, Penn State's offense was so bad he got a lot of practice. Just kidding.
Oh,
Just kidding.
oh,
Just kidding.
You are not wrong.
oh.
I did
Yes.
I did think Penn State's gonna win this game, but I wasn't ready to commit just yet until I double checked that Arkansas's star wide receiver has committed to the NFL draft and opted out of the bowl game. On the other hand, Jahan Dotson and Jaquan Brisker have not opted out of the bowl game. That may change between now and then, but at the moment they will be there.
Mhm.
And we do have. I'm excited to see if James Franklin can actually figure out how to beat an SEC school in a bowl game, which he has yet to do.
He's got several million reasons why he should.
Yeah, that's
So-
true. 75 million of them. Yeah.
Aidan, while you were on camera, what do you think about the Outback Bowl?
Penn State all day.
Penn State all day, every day. That is what I would expect, young man. Yes,
Doggy here.
Yes, your dog is there. I'll mute you now.
I saw that. Nubyjas, you covered Penn State until about halfway through the season. What do you think about this one?
And actually, it's interesting. I saw Arkansas live. So my second game on the Auburn beat was Auburn, Arkansas, and Auburn.
Nice. Okay.
Won that game. So
Yeah.
I was over in Arkansas, which we'll talk about that probably off here. Getting there was a little different. Nonetheless, I think Penn State should win this game.
Mhm.
I'm going to, now that I don't cover them, I can pick them in this way. I'm going to take Penn State to win. It should be close. I like what Sam Pittman is doing at Arkansas. I think they're on their way. They've had some good wins, and I mean, Arkansas plays, and no offense to the Big Ten East, but the SEC West is the toughest division in college football. No offense. I mean, I'm just saying, you got Auburn. I'm just saying, there's not an offense. It's
We'll
just,
argue about that some other time.
yeah, I mean, I'll say, okay, fine. For this sake of their neck and neck, I think Arkansas sees some tough teams, and
Yes.
Penn State has as well.
Yes.
I think Penn State beats them, assuming. Oh, wait a minute. Is Valou playing, or are they going to play Clifford? What are they doing?
Kelly,
Supposedly Clifford will be playing. He's healed up.
he said he was
and-
playing. Yeah.
All right, well,
And-
if Clifford's going, then I got him. Yeah, I'll take him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No.
I'm sorry.
Aidan just wailed in despair because Clifford is coming back next year, and it's okay.
I kind
Better than him.
of think that's a good thing. I think that's going to work out. That's going to work out well.
And there's no longer two backups because Roberson declared for
Mhm.
portal this morning.
Gabby, what do you think about the Outback Bowl?
So I'm a little bit torn because I clearly am trying to stay consistent with my logic and reasoning for things. So I'm like big on the kicker, big on the punter, but my roommate is also from Arkansas. And so when they played Alabama the week I talked to you, I was team Arkansas. So I'm a little torn, and I think the roommate loyalties are going to have to win out. So
You don't
I'm
have to
going with
tell her.
Arkansas. No,
You don't-
I'm going with Arkansas on this one. I feel
Okay.
good about it.
Who pigs suey? Jake, what do you think?
So I think if Clifford plays, Penn State should win. But I want to pose a question to the group because I know we have some Penn State fans in here.
Yes.
This game definitely means a little bit more to Penn State fans, right? Because with Sam Pittman, everything that's happened this year, a win would just be kind of gravy.
It's
But-
absolutely.
But with after the contract and after kind of a disappointing year, like there's a lot of pressure on James Franklin, right? I mean, even if this is a glorified exhibition to us, but to everybody else, the boosters, the Penn State fan base, like this is a big deal, right?
Okay, hang on for just a second. Sub question, Kelly. What do you think? What do you think about what Jake just asked?
That is it's an excellent question, and he's right. This goes back to what you and I talked about, whether or not James Franklin was going to leave back at Penn State, Ohio. Again. And I didn't think he was leaving, and he didn't leave, but he stressed us out way too much, and he kind of owes us now. So yeah, he better pull this out.
Okay. Sub question to Carla. What do you think about what Jake said?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point. You're right, because this is kind of a victory lap for Arkansas. Nobody really expected them to be at this point yet in the SEC, and they pulled off some pretty ridiculous wins. Go back to week 2 against Texas.
Yeah.
They've had some pretty decent. They've had some really great wins, and they're right in the thick of things. They made a bowl game for the first time in quite a while. So yeah, it's a victory lap, and there is some pressure on Franklin and the lines. Thinking they were going to be right up in the mix of everything started falling apart with Illinois, right? I mean, that was we talked about that when I recorded that. It's tough to be taken seriously on the national stage when you lose to Illinois, and so I think that bad taste in their mouth is, and this is a national stage, right? Yes. Which nobody really thought for sure Penn State was even going to get with their record. So the fact that they've got the national spotlight against an up and coming SEC team, yeah, I think the pressure is firmly on James Franklin and Penn State in that game.
Okay, Jake, we go back to you because I don't think we actually got a pick.
Yeah, Penn State. I am taking Penn State, especially if Clifford's playing.
Okay. Carla, we did not get a pick for you from this game.
No, and I really only have a couple of other things to add here.
Okay.
If Dotson plays, I mean, we all know, everybody knows I'm going to pick Penn State, right? If Dotson plays, that's key, right? Yes. Clifford needs Dotson to be able to make that offense go. My 2 big questions for this game are can Penn State get any sort of a ground game going? They have to take the pressure off of Sean, and not because the Arkansas defense will swarm him. So they have to get something going on the ground game. And can the Penn State defense prevent Arkansas from jumping out quickly? That's what they've done. And if you watch every single Arkansas game, the games that they have won, they've gone out and they put points on the board quickly. Ask Texas how that went for them, right? So the Penn State defense needs to be able to squelch what's happening on the Arkansas offense quickly. And Penn State needs to get a little bit more balanced of an attack down. But of course, you all know I'm picking Penn State in this game. Pigs are delicious.
Tasty pigs. AJ, did I ask you about this game?
No, I've been spending this entire time while people have deep football thoughts.
I am now
about
asking
Penn State football and the program.
I am now asking you about this game.
There's a lot of deep thoughts, and the entire time I've been sitting here trying to Google which team gives away the bloomin' onion if they win, and which team gives away the coconut shrimp, which is really all that matters about this game.
I'm disappointed that nobody picked the famous potato bowl, because just the iconic photograph of OU's players dumping a Gatorade bucket of French fries over Frank Solich's head from a couple seasons ago. That is one of the finest moments of bowl season, anytime, anywhere.
So a few things. Number one, the actual iconic photo of the Idaho Potato Bowl is when they hold up the giant crystal bowl full of potatoes, like you've won 5 pounds of potatoes.
I would argue with that. That.
Which is always fun. Number 2,
at least they didn't clock Frank in the back of the head with the bucket. That was.
It would have been lights out for my man.
Yeah, that would be not, like that would not be good.
Also, a side note to Nubyjas' pick of the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I believe if either team dunks Duke's Mayo on their coach instead of Gatorade, 10 G's to the charity of that team's choosing. All I'm saying is there might be a Gatorade container of mayo on the sidelines. Watch yourselves on the sidelines if you're trying to get yourself a drink. The Outback Bowl, a game that we're all watching here. Yes, I think Kelly pointed it out that Treylon Burks is not playing in this game. Treylon Burks was an absolute problem for SEC defenses. He is a big, strong dude, and basically it was throw it up to Treylon, he'll go get it. I think I see Arkansas coming in. Penn State stumbled out to finish the season, right? They took the 9 overtimes. 9 overtimes.
9 overtimes. Kelly, are you
9.
laughing or crying? I can't tell.
They paid James Franklin $7.5 million after that. They saw that and went, yeah. Go ahead and get this checkbook out.
This is why he knows us, that he would put us through this and then get a raise and an extension. 9 is this something like, no, the math doesn't work out for $10 million per overtime, but still, it's terrible.
Somewhere in that range. By the way, my favorite part is that the school isn't paying him that.
Right.
No, his salary from the school is $500K, which is a spicy number for a public school, but still, that's $500K out of a $7.5 million. So where's the rest of the money come from? It comes from a booster fund. That means boosters went, yep, more of this. I love it. Oh, college football, you're so.
And send donations. Yeah, we're paying his salary, and this is what he does.
Hey, guess what? He's going to the Outback Bowl, though, and if he wins, we get coconut shrimp because the SEC gives away a blooming onion from what I've discovered.
Yes. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Shrimp
by the way,
potatoes.
Listen, everybody here, did everybody pick Penn State?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Yet.
Give me Arkansas and the points. Thank you. And your bias is absolutely correct. The SEC West is 100 times harder than the Big Ten East. You don't have Rutgers in Indiana. Calm down. Calm down. The SEC West is way harder.
Go Scarlet Knights. I'm the only one who has not picked. I'm going with Penn State in this game. I actually think, especially if Clifford's healthy, we will get a look at kind of what we expected Penn State to be. They need to find a running game. Maybe that's not so much a mission for this game. It is for next year, but yeah, I think Penn State is the pick here. We have one more game to talk about. Our friend Tyler Batiste could not join us, but we're just going to go ahead and this game is on the list and we're going to pick it anyway. It's the Purple Bowl, by the way, 9 p.m. Tuesday on January 4th. This is the one weird game. OU played in this game a couple of years ago, and it was weird because they were playing a game that was later than after Ohio State finished its season, which just struck me as really odd. This is the Tax Act Texas Bowl. LSU versus Kansas State. K-State is favored by a point. The AG Fund Index is 47. I am going to take a stab at the intro here since Tyler could not join us. Lots of coaching turnover, as you may have heard, but at both schools, K-State's kind of limited to assistants, a little bit more serious at LSU. And I think if you're looking at what's going on in Baton Rouge, it's like, that's a lot. It is a lot. Brad, from what I understand, Brad Davis, who's the offensive line coach from the Eddie O staff, will be the interim head coach for the bowl game, while Brian Kelly, is observing from somewhere from the press box or something like that. I would suggest that that's a pressure situation for the assistant, although Brian Kelly didn't exactly bring an army of assistants to Baton Rouge with him. I think pretty much everyone turned him down. So maybe not so much pressure. I don't know. Max Johnson, I read LSU's starter quarterback for this season has disappeared, vanished into the either of the transfer portal. Don't know who's going to start in his place. That is a lot of moving parts for LSU. I'm transitioning to my pick here, and I think it's a bit much. I think LSU is going to be fine at some point down the line, but for this game, that's just a lot of stuff to deal with, and I think K-State is going to win this game. Who's on AJ? What do you think?
Brian Kelly's going to be watching this game from the Tiger family suite, where he can maintain such a perspective and view upon the Tigers on the field. Listen, Kansas State does not throw the football terribly well. Skylar Thompson, I need to point this out. This is an Army ass stat line. Skylar Thompson, 141 of 205 for 1854 on the season. He threw 9 total touchdowns. 9 N-I-N-E, 9 touchdowns. Through 4 picks, 9 touchdowns. I thought they missed a digit in the guide, in the documentation here. No, 9 touchdowns. And it's not like he split time with anybody else. Will Howard and Jaron Lewis had 55 and 23 attempts. So it's not like Skylar got the day off a couple times. No, he played the whole season. This is a North Dakota State offense. This is Kleeman, Brett Kleeman, I believe, is the coach who came over from North Dakota State, came to Kansas State, and has really brought over this, hi, we're going to punch you in the face over and over again and beat you into the ground. They run the ball a lot. I don't know necessarily that LSU is ready to get up for this game. I think they feel like, hey, we got bowl eligible. We beat Texas A&M to finish the season, got bowl eligible, one last one for Coach O. I feel like there's a letdown here, and I see Kansas State winning.
Okay. Jake, what do you think?
I like Kansas State too, because as you mentioned, Max Johnson entered the transfer portal, and I think the only other scholarship quarterback they have on the roster is Garrett Nussmeier, and the other 2 guys they have on the roster are non-scholarship quarterback players. But if they use Nussmeier, I think they have to burn his red shirt.
Oh, geez.
If what I read is correct. Now,
yes,
I don't know.
Yes, they do. He is a redshirt freshman.
Oh boy.
So yes, you got to nuke his red shirt to play the bowl game.
Have fun at the Texas Bowl assistant coach who's coaching this game. So K-State.
Okay. Carla, what do you think?
I mentioned this a couple times on the show that I'm actually kind of a closet K-State fan. Because back when I was covering back when the Big 12 was my the conference that I was producing for, the K-State guys that I worked with were some of the most fun in the entire network.
Nice.
And they converted me into being K-State believers. I like the whole story there. The coaching hire out of the Dakotas was brilliant and fit their mentality perfectly. It was the great way to follow up after a legendary coach like Bill Snyder. Too much for LSU to overcome. Yeah, I'm going to ride purple all day. Go Wildcats.
Go Cats. Kelly, what do you think?
So when you first introduced this, because I hadn't put it all together yet, and you called it the Purple Bowl, I thought, purple, you mean like the mattress company? And so I thought maybe that was who the sponsor was, and it isn't, but next year it should be.
They have missed an opportunity, clearly.
Purple Mattress needs to sponsor a bowl game, or Casper or something, but purple would be better.
No, purple's going to sponsor a bowl game, and then you get 2 purple teams every single year.
Yes.
And you can do that. There are enough purple teams that this can be done.
And it has to be grape Gatorade poured onto the coaches. You can do this. Make it happen, Purple Match.
I like this idea.
For my pick, I'm going to go with K-State.
Okay. Is Aidan still with us?
Aidan has also picked K-State before he went to bed.
Okay, good to know. Okay.
Why is the sponsor for this game not Crown Royal?
Also an excellent suggestion.
Yes.
Also an excellent suggestion. Gabby, what do you think?
K-State for sure. I would like to see LSU lose this game.
Okay.
All of the games after, just let them fall apart. Take our coach and then fall apart.
Why, Gabby?
Gabby seems.
You know what?
I'm not bitter.
Welcome to the pettiness of SEC football.
Wow. Let's go. Let's do it. Nubyjas, what do you think?
Hey, well, we're going to get down there. We're going to play the ball game today. We're going to get out there. Them Tigers, man, they're going to go out there. They're going to beat up on them old Wildcats over there.
Okay, now hang out just a second. AJ, say the same thing as Dadio. Do it.
Down there, we're going to go on down there to NRG Stadium down there in Houston. We got to put in Wildcat. Go tackle.
Yeah. I mean, see, you think you're talking about some Wildcats. I don't know about no Wildcat, man. It's just it's Baton Rouge here, son. We're gonna go up there, we're gonna beat them boys, we're gonna tear them up. That's what we're gonna do. Go Tigers.
Listen, I'm gonna have the whole family over to the house. We're gonna have that and do it. We're gonna have the jambalaya on the stove. You wanna come on over?
Yeah, man. See, we gonna go out there. You know, I'm going to the gas station first. You know, I might find me a little something up there first. I'm gonna go 45s and a couple other little things. And we're gonna come back here. We're gonna play some football, some old Tiger football. One more time.
It might be warm enough. I might have the pool open.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the finest moment in Bowlapalooza history. I'm not sure it will ever be topped.
That was beautiful.
I'm gonna drink about 4 Red Bulls, and I'm gonna get ready for this game. I'm gonna do 100 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and we gonna go roll.
That's how
I call that LSU strength and conditioning program. You drink a Red Bull, you do push-ups, sit-ups, and now you're ready to fight.
There you go. Give me some old boys or whoever got a problem with me.
So, Nubyjas, who's going to win this game?
I think LSU should win, though, seriously. I don't know. I mean, the bowl games are weird. I mean, they're very hard to predict, as we all know. You never know who's going to show up, but I would assume the LSU player is going to show a little bit of pride and, win the game. I'm trying to impress Brian Kelly.
That's a good point. Did I not ask anybody about this game? Because I have no idea now. I'm completely. Did we all talk about this game? Yes. It sounds like we have.
I just want to watch Brian Kelly eat jambalaya. Like, I just want to watch it happen.
Yeah.
That man thinks Sprite is spicy. Like, it's going to be a problem for him.
Give that man some gator tail.
Shout out to Dragonfly Jones on Twitter. Shout out to Dragonfly Jones. He deserves that one. That joke was his. I'm sorry.
Boys and girls, you can hear Eddie O talk about the Carla and Crappy show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, TuneIn, and a variety of other podcasting hosts. You can watch us on YouTube and on this show's Facebook page. I'll stop laughing sometime here soon. If you like us, please subscribe, rate, and review. If you don't, mind your own damn business.
You don't like our podcast, you go down the swamp.
And be sure to come back in a couple of weeks when Carla and I will be talking about how wrong we were on this show. Guys, I have one final question for everyone except for Carla, because Carla, you and I will be talking about this when we do the last couple of the season. We all know the Final Four: Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, and Cincinnati. Who is winning the national championship? Jake.
Well, if Alabama's offense played like it did against Georgia, I don't think there's any stopping them right now.
Okay. AJ.
I want it to be Cincinnati. My heart wants to say Cincinnati.
I do.
My heart knows otherwise. Right. The Michigan Georgia game is going to be so stupid. It's going to be so bad. Oh God. Listen, it was posited that it's possible to have a Michigan-Cincinnati national title game.
It would be cool. That'd be good.
It's possible to have Michigan beating Cincinnati for a national title game and the entire SEC just being heated about it. But it's Alabama. They're inevitable.
Okay. Kelly?
So before I say my pick, I will tell you that I'm certain Aidan would pick Georgia because and the reason is because the bulldog is his favorite animal.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm with AJ in following, my heart. I would love to see it happen for Cincinnati, but also I would love to see it happen for Michigan because, damn it, Harbaugh, don't you dare waste this. You're this flash in a pan season of yours. Don't you dare waste this.
What, Jimmy win the big one? That's never happened before, and it ain't happening now.
He's not won the Big Ten either, but look what he just did.
Oh, man, can Jim Harbaugh can Jim Harbaugh finally be the Big Ten coach other than Ryan Day or Urban Meyer to score points in a college football playoff game? Who's to say?
Who's to say?
But it's gonna be Alabama. It's gonna.
Okay. Nubyjas, who you got?
Georgia. Got Georgia. I know how they looked in that game. I think Georgia played like a team that knew it's going to it regardless. I can't knock the 12-0. I think Georgia will find a way to beat Michigan. I think they'll find a way to beat Alabama in the rematch.
Okay. Okay, Gabby, who's the winner?
Mine's a process of elimination. Cincinnati, that Cincinnati game was the one thing that kept Notre Dame out of the Final Four.
Right.
I can never root for Alabama or Michigan, so I'm going with Georgia on this one.
Makes perfect sense to me as a fellow Ohioan. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for your help during the season. Was incredible, and we had so many great shows while Carla was getting used to her new routine. We've had yet another great show here today. I'm going to be hearing Eddie O impersonations in my head probably through the rest of bowl season, when that's not necessarily a bad thing. And finally, so thank you to you guys, Jake, Kelly, Gabby, Nubyjas. Certainly thanks to Braden Gall, who could not join us today. Thanks to Kim DeBoo, who could not join us today. And there's one more person I'm forgetting. I don't remember who it is. Tyler, who was going to be here and they could not be here. You guys are all awesome, and again, I appreciate the help. Carla, we get to do old school shows. We will do one for the Final Four, and we will do one for the national championship game. Everybody has those to look forward to. I know I'm looking forward to those.
It's like the season that never happened.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So guys, come back. We will announce days for that. You will hear this show prior to the start of the bowl games, and then there will be a couple more when we are damn good and ready. How's that? Thank you guys, everybody who's on the show. You've been awesome. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank everyone who's continued to listen and watch and do all of that stuff. My wish for you as we start the bowl season, man, watch them all. Watch every single one you can. They're all on the internet somewhere. So even if you're at work, what the hell? Nobody's doing any work for the next 2 weeks. Watch the bowl games.
The most wonderful time of the year.
It's the most wonderful. No, we're not going to sing. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Guys, thank you very much for watching, listening. Come back in a couple weeks because Carla and I will still be talking. Cheers, everybody. Have a lovely evening, and we'll talk to you again soon.